Most certainly. All right, I'm going to get the guy on the right. I got to stay true to my race. All right. So spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, representing Ris3n Competitive, and he is actually the manager of the tournament. It is EterNaL.
Not this tournament. This
Not
isn't
tournament.
ours. This
Wrong
is my
tournament. This is Revolt's tournament. My bad.
Yeah. Give me my tournament. But firstly, I'd like to point out that I must stay true to my race, and without the context sounds really, really messed up, but that's okay, because in context it's not that bad. But spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, the green Zerg player, it's Steven.
All right. So, EterNaL just had the opportunity to watch Steven play a best of 3. Granted, it was over in 2 games. So he's already seen 2 things that Steven can do, and one of those, which I really enjoyed a lot, was going proxy hatch and taking the third base as the natural. That's just a total freaking throw off. I mean, were you watching those games? What did you think?
I did. And, you know, I hear what you're saying in that, like, that's something that Steven's done so many times. I've casted a lot of his EVT throughout the RSL. And, I mean, I made a joke that these guys hit each other in every tournament. And I almost think that EterNaL doesn't even need to watch Steven's play to know how he plays. These guys are about as familiar with each other's plays you can really get. I mean, if we look at tournaments last year, RSL Season 1, they hit each other. The last competitive clash, they hit each other. RSL Season 2, they hit each other. The Ris3n, EterNaL's BlizzCon, the Grand Tournament, they hit each other. These guys have played so many series against each other. And I think that, like, Steven has done that proxy hatch build to EterNaL, like, 4 times already. Like,
awesome.
I almost feel like these two have to be out of curveballs because, you know, if they haven't shown each other everything that they've got, they got a lot in their pockets, you know?
It's true. And EterNaL was here respecting him. His scouting SCV was actually not rallied. It was queued to click through EterNaL's natural before going across to make sure he would not miss a proxy hatchery if there was one.
Yeah.
Respect.
And I feel like it is respect. And I also think it's EterNaL playing very intelligently based on how we see EterNaL like to play. I mean, if you asked me, because I've casted a lot, EterNaL's strength, right? His micro's good. His ability to throw in cheeses is all right. But the real strength of his play always has been his just like innovation-esque dominating macro style. Oh, actually, Reaper.
Yeah.
Nope, not gonna get it.
Honestly, I love his mid game. I think his mid game is really strong. I think he goes for builds that are at least in TVT. I don't know about TVZ, but TVT he hits you really hard in the mid game, and if you give him an inch, he will take it a mile. And then you will be behind.
I mean, when you watch him, he's just the guy that doesn't miss his production cycles, right? He just doesn't. His builds are typically very, very, very crisp, which means that, like, you know, if you get lackadaisical with your own build, like here we already see Steven accidentally lets that spore finish. You can get punished pretty heavily. Now, Steven, doesn't get into the main, but he does see a relatively low drone count for the fact that there's no third base. And I mean, the lair's done.
Almost done.
Or the lair's almost done. A Roach Warren is down. I almost wouldn't be shocked to see EterNaL like even drop a scan here. Actually, no, he drops the mules. But again, right? Like he knows that 2-base Roach, while a little bit unorthodox, is far, far from, you know, something that Steven wouldn't dare pull out. You know?
It's true, but I'm intrigued though. We're going up to lair, but we only have 1 gas. No third base yet. I don't actually understand or know what it is he's going to go for with the lair tech. I'm a little confused by Steven's build. We have a game to play, Revolt, and that is anytime that we are confused by what Steven's game is, you have to take a shot.
Well, I don't know about that, but I did crack me a cold one, and I'll take a sip with you.
Good sip. All right, I'm taking one for you now too.
But I'll tell you what, this is something we see from Steven all the time, which is kind of slightly partial aggressions with something behind it, right? This is a 6 Roach attack. There's nothing coming behind this. He's getting drones, but behind it, right, the transition is already in place. He's going up into Infestation Pit, and it's going to be Swarm Hosts, which I think on this map specifically could be really, really...
Yeah, wow. Okay, so he only loses 2 Roaches to that. He forces a little bit of lost mine time. A bunker was produced. 3 drones died. We are going to lose an Overlord here. But, I mean, he did some stuff with it. I just don't know if it was really enough to, justify the super late third base.
Yeah, I mean, what it did do is keep Eternal bottled up and not scouting, right? And on its own, that's not enough to pay for that. But it is if he's caught completely unawares by this Nidus Swarm Host play.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of what Steven's counting on, is that these Swarm Hosts are going to get an initial huge punch of damage and just kind of swing him into an advantageous position as he drones up this third very quickly and tries to get a full.
Yeah. Now, I like this, though. Granted, Overlord's been identified, right? Which is about to put a stop on this, but there's no access to the bottom half of the map. So, I mean, granted, the Overlord died, but
he's running in. Oh! And
snap.
actually, these Hellions are still alive. He's going to get
Five.
5 workers for all of the Hellions. But to scout the Nidus and Swarm Hosts together, for that, I think is totally worth it.
That's big, but I mean, he's already invested into the build order he went for.
It's true, but now we see things like, oh wait, where is that? Oh, it's coming down in the natural, actually. I don't know why he's getting a turret in the natural. Didn't see his fire. But yeah, actually, he's not even super prepared for this. I mean, his build order is already kind of committed.
He can't pressure this Nidus either because he can't get down there because minerals. So, I mean...
Yeah. So at least this first wave is going to go off completely uninterrupted. Oh, and he could get Stim! He could get Stim.
Oh, that's so big. Stim is so late for Eternal.
Yeah.
If he snipes that, I mean...
If your Stim's late and it gets sniped, like, we're talking about like an 8-minute Stim.
Is he going to see
after
it?
That, we're talking about like a 9-minute Stim. Oh, is he going to go for it? No, he's going to go for SCVs.
Oh, but he's going to kill SCVs 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Holy smokes! 14 SCVs fall and the turret in the natural, and there's not any counter pressure on the other side of the map, so that's 14 SCVs for free. That's huge. That is huge.
It is. It is, and Eternal's actually kind of reeling from this initial aggression. He's getting sieged up here now, but the next wave is going to come at his natural, not at his main. He's not even repairing this CC in the main yet. And like I said, behind this, what do we see? Steven already transitioning once again. He's getting that third base droned up. He's getting Infestors behind this. I mean, you gotta love to watch Steven play because it's never orthodox, but it's also never boring.
So, Medevac loaded up right here, right now. He's going to push across the map, trying to get a little bit of counter damage done, but there are Locusts going into the natural again. He knows his SCVs are going to be under fire. Okay, he only loses 2 that time. That's better, but all this mining time lost. Forced command center lifted. He screwed up his unit clicking somehow, or his command centers, and his base that went to go land is no longer even over there. It's back in the main base right now. Oh, so in the natural for Eternal, or excuse me, for Steven, drones are pulled, but no units lost.
Yeah, and like I said, this has kept Eternal pinned so hard at this point that the transition into a strong army is secured here for Steven. He's going to have Roaches and Infestors, which in a traditional game is a comp that would kind of get outpaced, but we're not playing a traditional game. Eternal has no third base. His upgrades are completely stunted. I mean, if good fungals come off and Eternal loses an army, his economy isn't in good enough a spot to just say, like, oh, well, we'll just remake it, you know?
Yeah. No. Definitely not. Medevac's going to come down and try and snipe this Nidus.
You could get Combat Shield. Oh.
Combat Shield goes down. That's 10 less HP for every single Marine. Reactor falls. Barracks lifted. They're not producing units. These Swarm Hosts are just getting so much value right now. Eternal is pushing across the map, though. He realizes right now is do or die. He's behind, and he knows it.
There's 3 fungals. What's he going to do?
Yeah, but that's not Storm. Anything's possible.
Well, actually, there's more Marines than I thought. It looks like Steven's going to try and jump on this. Big fungals coming in.
Those were really big fungals. The tanks get some good shots off, though. Tank's in a decent position.
Yeah, but now Eternal needs more time to let his bio heal up. And in that time, there's going to be even more fungals as more and more Infestors start to come. Oh, Steven's going to dive on this. The tank is almost dead.
Yep, one tank was unsieged.
Don't lose the Infestors.
He's going to clean this up.
He's going to force him back and then immediately send a wave of Locusts into his main again. Yep, there it is.
Yep. Well played this game by Steven. Yeah. Honestly, using the map to his advantage.
Yeah, hit L for me and just show the resources lost here, and you can see just how efficient that Steven has been in this game. Almost 5,000 resources lost to 2,300.
Big, big deal.
Yeah.
And whenever you're behind in workers, having the worst trades is not what you want. That's how you get
No,
further
it is
behind.
not. And not only is he behind on workers, all those workers are stuck on 2 bases. He's
Yeah.
got 54 workers on 2 bases.
I haven't made mention
And
of it, but
his main base is barely.
there's been 7 workers in the natural that have just been sitting here the entire game. I don't think he identified that he's got idle workers. Maybe they're on hold position and they're not showing up on his idle worker tab, because if they're on hold position they don't show up. But yeah, did you see those guys?
Oh yeah, they're just chilling.
Yeah, they've
And
been chilling
actually,
all
they might
game.
get put out of their misery here. Don't worry. Oh no, they get pulled away.
Finally,
they were the spotting SCVs, Kodo, of course.
It's been like 4 or 5 minutes now.
Yeah, here come the locusts, and yeah,
Locusts get in, friendly fire from the tank.
Workers, yeah.
8 workers fall. Still,
Yeah,
no third
Eternal,
base.
like, what do you do here?
You take
can't
the gold.
Go take a third. You can't take a third at this point. You've got you're too far behind economically, and you can't kill him because he's got infestors. Like I don't. It's tough for me to see Eternal's path to victory here without taking this to like the super.
I don't know. He's been very incessant on taking this other base, but he should just take the gold base at this point and just.
And look, he's chasing the swarm host, and he's going to catch some. But in that time, Steven moves in with the main army and picks off 9 SCVs, and even saves some of the swarm hosts. Oh, he's even moving behind to go into the main. This is just an absolute masterclass of ZVT here from Steven. The build order was wonky, but when isn't it? And you can't really criticize him for it when he's got it planned out this well.
Yeah, I mean, this is an excellent map for what he did. Like, he couldn't have picked a better strategy for this map.
Yeah, Eternal. Oh, if he catches these medevacs with fungal. Oh.
No, I mean, so Steven's army is split up, right? So
fungal on everything though. Bile's just gonna shred things. And it's not the worst trade in the world for Eternal, but he doesn't need to trade okay. He needs to trade incredibly well.
Yeah. He needed to just decisively win. GG is called. Majestic voice. This is Revolt. He is the leader of this tournament right here. RCC, Ris3n Competitive Clash. And he's just a G. So I'm going to stick true to my race again. And spawning the bottom right-hand corner, yellow Terran representing Ris3n Competitive. It is EterNaL.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, the green Zerg player, the mad friggin' scientist, it is Steven. And like, what do you like think now as EterNaL going into the next map? Like, obviously, Golden Wall is a very, very, very different map than Nightshade. I think Nightshade kind of lends itself a little bit more to standard play. But I feel like whenever you play someone in game number 1 of a series and they pull something crazy out of their ass, like it can kind of throw you off for the rest of the series because you're like, well, what the heck is this guy gonna do next?
I don't know. Personally, for me, if I lose a game on Golden Wall, I just kind of write that off. Like, whatever. Okay, I lost the Golden Wall. Like, no big deal. It's just a weird map, and it's good for Zerg because there's so many different options that you can do. Zerg, it's easy to secure a third base. It's meta for you to take a third base before 3:30. So if you take the gold base, it's still actually hard to pressure that because there's only 10 mineral nodes in the middle of the map to deny. Or to mine out so you can get units behind your mineral line at your gold. So you can do that, or you can do what Steven did, where you can put a Nidus where you can't actually get to it unless you mine out the wall prior, which it's kind of not what you want to do because that's not macro efficient. I mean, it's the most Zerg favored map. I veto it every time. It has to go.
It has to go. You've heard it here first. But once again, like we said, Nightshade, very, very, very different map. Has definitely the more standard layout compared to Golden Wall. And I think that plays into EterNaL's favor. He's typically the guy that wants to play the more normal game, where you see EterNaL... that plays in EterNaL's favor because he wants to play the normal game. Steven typically is the one that gets weird with it. And actually, he's going to start picking off this drone. That's a huge, huge start for him. There's actually been no drone sent out anywhere to take a third yet.
This drone is low on HP. Does get forced to turn into a sport crawler. Yeah, you're right though. No third yet.
Ooh, but
Where's your third
still,
base?
he forces the SCV off of the command center, and he might be able to delay this for a decently long amount of time.
And he gets this to the main and gets a couple, maybe gets a couple. Zerglings are attacking some SCVs. Mining time is being lost. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
there's still one. There's still one.
Whoa!
Oh,
A
did he
turtle!
lose none?
No! He lost none. 0 SCVs lost.
Wait, no, he lost one. He lost one. Wait, he lost none?
No, he lost.
Workers killed? No. One worker died. One worker died.
Oh, well, that was the first one from.
It might have been. That was the one across the map. Yeah, he didn't lose anything.
I'm sorry. That was the one building the SC or the command center.
Oh, the command center. Yeah. But beyond that, I mean, the fact that none of those went down when they were all very low HP. Yeah. Well done there by EterNaL.
Well done.
Well done, lad. Well done.
Steven has 34 workers though to 25, so he is up by 9. This is Steven's opportunity to try to get ahead. He does drop his third base before 3:30, which I believe is still standard in a Zerg perspective.
Yeah, I mean, typically you want, if you're playing a normal macro game, you want it down sub 3 minutes, definitely. But Steven's not doing that. He's got a lair on the way, right? This is not a normal, like, I'm just trying to macro and get my 3 bases mining as fast as possible, right? It's not that build, so...
Did you expect anything else from Steven?
Not really. I think that's fairly standard for him.
I think.
But the thing that I love about Steven is that like he can play that game and he can like get to his mid game and especially his late game are still very strong. I mean, his use of casters units, whether they be Vipers or Infestors, is really, really good. He intentionally chooses to make the game weird so that he goes to the mid or late game on his own terms. You know, like.
True.
Because it's not like, you know, his aggression fails and he's sitting there floundering like a fish out of water. Like,
we do
he's a very fun player to watch.
Yes, he is. I agree. 3 CC play from EterNaL. So EterNaL is destined, or choosing to take this to the mid game, at least, at this point.
GT Kung in the chat saying "Old Man Revolt." Yeah, I'm glad that meme has gone on.
The only old man is Wrath. Thank you very much.
That's true. I mean, I may be old, but Wrath is at least 18 times older than I am, and I'm 72. So, I mean, how does that make him? I leave that to the nerds who are good at math.
Nice. So Steven's still up on workers. Efficiency and economy though is pretty even for minerals, at least due to mules. He is gonna get around all these queens. There are so Zerglings!
There's nobody. There's no speed though. Oh my gosh! So if he has speed there, that gets absolutely enveloped. But with no speed, EterNaL just got away with a freebie there.
Yeah.
Those Hellions should be dead to rights, gone, but they're not. That's really good for him. You don't want to lose those units.
Yeah, a little bit of slip up right now from Steven here, not having Zergling speed to be able to clean this up.
Oh, hit Control Shift 5 and Shift 1.
Control Shift 5. Control 1.
And now it should say best of 5, 1-0 Steven?
Yep.
Nice. So Steven's getting in with the Overseer, is getting a little bit of a scout off. I don't think he's exactly surprised. I mean, if Steven is an unpredictable player, then I think it's fair to say that EterNaL is a fairly predictable one. It's not exactly a slight, because you can predict it, but that does not mean you can stop it. But he's going for absolutely no surprises here. Like you talked about in game number 1, his strength is typically in his huge mid-game armies and his excellent usage of them, and he's going to get to that point here in game number 2 in a way that he just absolutely didn't in game number 1.
Agreed. Agreed. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully, EterNal's able to power up and just really smash in that mid-game army. I know he wants to do. We do have one medevac loaded up with Marines. I think I can hold Control F and follow. Yes, yes, I can.
Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes!
Look at Coda. He's learning. He's evolving.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, and this drop should be able to poke at the 4th base. I would be beyond shocked if it managed to get much meaningful damage done outside of creep. Still, keeping presence on the map, very good here for EterNaL, as with the +2 on the way. I'm guessing he's going to want to hit a timing at the 4th base, probably lining up with when his +2 attack is.
He cleared out a lot of creep, but these full energy queens are just going to come over and be like,
They're just going to be like, nope.
nope. Yep, I'll just drop more. Your mule that you could have had didn't actually matter. Enjoy.
Mule lives matter. Oh, no, don't put Banelings on the destructible rock, Steven, no.
When did that just
the Ling's got to surround. Oh,
no!
Stop it, Banelings, stop it! Okay, good. Only two, not the end of the
Two
world.
medevacs loaded up, going to the top right. They're going to be able to probably pressure this 5th base, 4th base, 5th base by Steven. EterNaL getting his own 4th base at this point. EterNaL, let's see. Another medevac, left side. Let's go. There is a medevac left side. Yes, but there are Zerglings in position already ready to defend against this. Is he going to? He identifies it. He pulls that medevac away. However, on the right side of the map, he does run Marines into the 5th base. He is going to take a good trade and a choke. There are Banelings. Oh, they get cleaned up.
Boom, boom. Clears out absolutely every Marine. EterNaL's still got this aggression over here on the left side, but actually he's starting to get some drone damage done. This is really good.
Yes. Good. Every pickup matters. Every efficient trade is a good trade for Terran. He's going to overstim a little bit, lift up, fly away. Unfortunately, on the right side of the map, he can't do anything with these medevacs because all the Marines are dead.
All right, let's see how well you've learned, Coda. What's the unit's loss looking like?
L! It's 200% in favor of the green player, which is Steven.
I don't know if that math adds up, but yeah, it's a big advantage.
It's almost. No,
200%. It's 100% more loss for Steven because he's about double.
Yes. Look, drunk math
it's
and
okay.
math are different.
Don't do math. This is another important lesson. Never do math on stream. It's another important. Never do math on stream. It never ends well.
No, it doesn't. Apparently.
It's just the way it goes. Okay, that's In Control taught us that lesson. And, you know, it's been true for 10 years, and it's still true today.
All right, so EterNaL has queued up, rallied his units to the top right side of the map. His goal at this point is he wants to pressure one of these bases. There are Banelings pushing to the left side. There are, it's just going to lift off this command center probably. Steven's units are in the middle of the map right now. EterNaL is going to siege up and start pressuring on this creep. There are Widow Mines involved as well. Widow Mines can make widows of all these Hydralisks. They're going to lose all of their Zergling little companions. He's going to push it to the 3rd base. There are a lot of Widow Mines not burrowed right now. Burrow on the creep. Let's go. They all shot it. They shot at Larva.
Yeah, and now Steven, I think he's decided sacking that base. He's going to bide his time for a more favorable engagement. He can't wait any longer, and here he goes. He's going to collapse on this arc. Oh.
Unsiege takes the tanks are unsieged. Okay, there was the window of opportunity. The window of opportunity is gone. Siege tanks now. Widow Mine's going to go ahead and refresh here in a second. More drones are going down. Is there a drop on the left side? No, there is not. But we're going to push in right now. Oh!
And Steven is definitely going to wipe this army, but at what cost? 20 drones and a base, and EterNaL even gets out with some of these units.
Oh, we have Ultralisk on the map now. Steven's favorite. He's like, surprise, you weren't ready for me. I hope you weren't ready for me at least. Marine's going to drop in the main. They're going to pressure a hatchery, which is a macro hatchery. There's Hydras. You're not getting out of there, medevac. I am very sorry. Oh, yeah. You get out. You do get out. Zorg pushing down to the middle, trying to do a run by, but they are going to be met with a wall. Just a wall, actually.
Yeah, a wall of
Stonewall Jackson.
And I mean, that's a good point, right? The Marauder transition did go. He likes this the Ultralisk transition was successful. He's got 3 of them, but EterNaL's already got 18 Marauders, and he's going into Liberators. I mean, if that isn't preparing for Ultralisks, especially in low numbers, I don't know.
Yeah. I should have posed the question earlier, were you ready for the transition? The answer is yes, we are ready for the transition. EterNaL over here is going Widow Mine, Marine, Thor, Liberator. We're talking like Heart of the Swarm, boom, 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 push across the map. All these Widow Mines still have shots left on them. None of them go off yet, which means that if he pushed them with all these Banelings, we can see some really good connections. He lifts off his Widow Mines, pulls back. He is completely on creep right now. None of this is cleared, so Steven has vision. It can take the perfect engagement if he wants to.
But EterNaL is absolutely... He's maxed. He's maxed. He can trade this army, and it looks like he wants to. Steven's going to bust up here, and it looks like he's going to break the position. Actually, he breaks it really well. These Ultras absolutely tearing through the front lines of the Terran. All the medevacs going down. And actually now EterNaL's dropping in supply. What looked like such a great position for him. It's starting to look a little dicey. His 4th base is still lifted. There's a burrowed Ling underneath. He's on 3 bases mining, and his entire army just got wiped.
Yes. Right side of the map, there's the drop. Injured medevac is going to try to come in here on fire, and we're going to deal damage to this hatchery. Steven is going to push down to the bottom of the map, do some counter damage. He's got a ton of Ultralisks, few of them on low HP. We're going to push in and see what we can do. There is a wall! While this is going on, EterNaL is trying to make a little bit of a wall so he can give his bio as much of a chance as possible, but there are Ultralisks, and their name is Ultra for a reason. And we're going to watch units die. There is death.
Yeah. I mean, EterNaL didn't focus fire at the hatchery either. It stayed up. In the meantime, he lost his 3rd, and he's got no answer to these Ultralisks. I mean, it looked like he had the army set up to trade really well, but with just brute force, Steven powers his way to a 2-0 victory.
Wow.
Holy
Whoa,
cow.
no, it's not victory yet. We got to go. We got to go to 3.
Sorry, best of 5 that I could possibly say to him. Yeah.
Spawning in the top, bottom left-hand corner, not like it actually matters. It is the person spawning in is the yellow Terran. It is EterNaL.
Okay. And spawning up in the top right-hand corner, up 2-0 in the series so far. It's the green Zerg player, Steve. That's a good question, though. Do you care at all about, like, if you're at the top or the bottom half of the map on most?
Hey, actually, to be honest, I prefer if I'm on the top, because whenever I wall, my add-on is, as you're gonna see right now, EterNaL's building his his racks a little off center. His reactor is gonna be in the wall.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If I'm on the top, my reactor is not part of the wall.
I wonder if someone's ever decided to cheese based on that. But they're like, I'm actually going Bailing Bus because he's going to have a reactor in the wall.
I'm quite positive that is the case. Now, there are ways to go about it. You can put 2 supply depots next to each other. Like 1, 2. If you're on my stream, you can see it. And then command center, which would keep your reactor safe. However, that means 5 Banelings can take out 2 supply depots at the same time. So it's kind of a give
and that's not a good thing generally.
No, it's not. So it's give and take. Rob Peter, and then Rob Peter some more, and then you pay Paul a little bit. That's how it is whenever you're spawning on the bad side of a map.
Yeah.
So spawning pool is done for Steven. Gas is done for Steven. Natural is kind of on the way. It's on the way.
I mean, he's doing the 6-ling run by, but given that EterNaL, like clockwork, SCV scouts after his barracks in I think every TVZ I've ever seen him play. That's really good, right? The point of these links is to maybe not get scouted, run around the Reaper, and then cancel the CC while the Reaper's across the map.
All right, so
but he sees that, so the Reaper just stays at home, right? Like, he's going to be fine.
Yes. Now, I'm interested in this because Steven builds a Roach Warren, right in the face of EterNaL.
Oh.
So, he cancels it. There it is. Yeah!
There's Steven. Gotta love him. He's always playing mind games. This guy, man.
So see, does he go back in? So one thing I like to do is when I send my Reaper across the map, because I like to send my Reaper across the map. Again, I scouted 18 SCV so that I can build my command center on the high ground if I identify the pool first. So I still send my Reaper across the map and make him ready to defend my wall. For the sole purpose of identifying BS. If I could send a SCV and a Reaper in the base right now and identify what the follow-up is, but he's preparing for Roaches. He's got 2 bunkers going down.
Yeah, to be fair, there is still no 3rd base here from Steven, so it's not like he's macroing crazy hard out of this.
I mean, we're still before 3:30, and honestly, if before 3:30, if I don't see a 3rd by 3:30, I assume it's all in by Zerg. So he is now saying a drone out right now. I still think this is within the limits. It's close. I don't see it often, but like some Zergs, I can't think of any names at the moment, but some like low GM Zergs will be like, hey, 3rd base at 3:30, and like that's just standard macro play for them.
Yeah.
So it's totally doable.
There's the scan from EterNaL, and EterNaL I feel like at this point knows. He scans, he sees that many drones at the natural. You're like, okay, well, you can't actually put that much larva into drones at this point and still be getting roaches to kill me. It's just not mathematically possible.
Oops. So
So
third base
yeah,
goes
immediately throws down the third CC. I really like that, and I expect more production will follow.
down. He is adding, or he's gonna go for the reactor on the starport. Banshee is made. I don't see a cloak. Okay, so cloak is there. Honestly, so like, here's my thought process on banshees. Right, it should be able to be held. Should be able to be held. I only make banshees if I feel like I'm about to get all in, and that's my concern.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's getting cloak too, right? Like you don't get you don't get cloak with purely defensive banshees, right? That's just it
No,
doesn't really make
you
sense.
you still do. You do for the
Really?
yeah, so that you can actually
For the
still be able to
counterattack?
apply. Yeah, you need to
Yeah,
be able to
yeah.
apply pressure with them. If you just make banshees for the sole purpose of defense, if
Yeah.
you make one banshee, it's okay to make one banshee. If you make two banshees, you're gonna have to have cloak.
Yeah, I
So
guess
you
that's
can do
true.
something.
And it looks like he is, given that he's getting cloak, he is probably going to commit to that second banshee. But actually, Steven comes in at a really good time. He sees, that building. He sees the research going off on cloak. And he should know. Yeah, he's got his spores already.
I'm so fucking glad. Excuse my language, cast, that you're here.
Yeah, man. I'm
Such
glad
a
I'm
dog,
here too.
Such a dog. Revolt, such a dog.
All right.
So I have a question
Double
for you.
Evo coming. Oh yeah, go for it.
Do you completely understand exactly what Steven's doing at this point?
Whew, I have to say that I do not, and
Okay,
I
that's a
will
sip.
pay the tax appropriately. I'll
Yep.
pay the tax appropriately.
You know what? There's a Banshee doing damage. I don't see anything died in the bottom left-hand corner of my screen, worker-wise.
Yeah,
So,
no, I think it got one drone. That's it. Yeah, just a single drone. It's gonna go back in, but now the queens are in position, which means it has to be careful because if it is detected, it'll start losing HP mighty quickly. And I feel like a big thing here for EterNaL, based on this opening, is the lack of Hellions.
yes.
Hellions, even if they don't dive in and kill 10 drones, which, to be honest, if you're about as good as your opponent, most of the time they won't. They're such an important tool for map control and for clearing out the
Yes.
creep. And with no access to clearing out creep, I mean, look at Steven's creep. He's not even been extremely fastidious about it, but even still, it's spread out all through the middle of the map.
Yeah. Now, let me just say, it's tough to clear creep with Hellion because you don't want to do a scan and clear and try to clear creep.
Yeah, but you can zone it, right? Like,
yes, you can delay it. You can make it difficult for Zerg because they have to continue to position their queens in a position that you're not going to be able to do a run by on them and just fucking dive a mineral line and kill a shit ton of workers. So by forcing Zerg to have to move their queens in certain positions, you actually delay and deny creep. Keep that kind of stuff in mind. And of course, you get a pick off here and there, but you're not going to go in and scan with freaking Hellions and try to clear creep. It's just to deny and delay. And maybe dive if you find the opportunity. Which, again, is still very scary for a Zerg opponent. 2 Banshees now. Again, with a moderate amount of energy. And they can come in and maybe get some worker pickoffs. 2 Banshees together, of course, is going to be a one hit on drones. Are you still here, Revolt? I miss you.
yeah, I'm here. I'm taking it all in.
Take everything in. Take the life in. Alright, so we are going to get... there's a lot of spores that were made.
Spore's in such a good spot because that's right where EterNaL wanted to retreat. He ended up retreating directly into a spore. Now one of those banshees is all but.
There are 2 medevacs in the bottom right-hand corner. They're pushing towards... Excuse me. They're middle of the map right now. They're pushing to the bottom right.
But I think Steven's going to be in position for this. Does he have Baneling speed? He does have Baneling speed. And, I mean, the army's right here. Yeah, he's going to try and drop, but... Yeah, he's just going to bleed out 2 Marines and be forced.
Nothing happened.
Although, on the left side, those banshees are clearing out some creep as well. That's good.
That's fair. Nothing can really shoot up except for the queens, so...
Oh, and now we see Overlord drops. And that was one thing we saw him use against Veritas, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When he dropped the Banelings in. Such a cool play. We could see it once again. Oh, that was so cool. That was so cool.
Okay, so Steven has elected just out of the middle of nowhere to be like, I'm going to make a lot of Banelings. And guess what?
Well, I think it makes sense, right? Here's a push coming that he saw with the Ling.
What? I mean, I wouldn't even call that a push. I mean, look at most of the army. Half the army is still in the
I
back,
mean, it's
right?
on its way. It's on its way. Look at this. He's going towards this fourth base with all but only ill intent here, Coda. Okay, he's not going to be tickling this fourth base. He's trying to kill it.
Right, but his
I
army is
think these
split up.
banelings are actually going to be.
Oh, we're gonna zoom out now. So,
Oh.
Medivacs move in at first. Widowmine's burrow. Oh my goodness.
Steven's fighting off creep. Oh no, I
He
think
is
that was
fighting
a
off creep.
disastrous choice. Yeah, with no creep there. I mean, his army just gets pretty much wiped. Now that his fourth's going to go down, and I mean, he's building
What
it
does he
back
have
and
behind
forth
this?
now. Just not a lot.
Eternal, push it to the third. Go, go, go. You've got all these Widowmines that can still freaking engage. Go. Push it to the third. You don't know it, but I know it. Push.
Yeah, he's going in. And I think I think
he knows.
Did he break him?
Push.
That's gonna be really
push. Cool. The drones are pulled. You know you're in a good position when the Zerg pulls the drones. It's not like Terran.
Oh, there's not enough Hydras.
Dude.
They're getting picked off.
Go.
Go Eternal. Go Eternal. This is your moment.
Don't listen to me. I'm not biased because I actually love both these players equally.
I'll tell you what. I'm a
this
little
to go
biased.
out.
I want to see more games between them.
Me too. Me too. How do I fucking set this shit?
What are you trying to do?
It's fucking. What do I do? Control Alt 3, best of 5, Shift. Control
Yeah,
shift,
yeah.
Best of 5. There we go. It's best of 5. We're 10 minutes in the game and we're finally showing you guys what's actually going on. That was really good. Eternal is up now in supply. He is pushing with Bio Army on the creep. He says IDGAF. That means for all of you people who are boomers, according to Pixelated Fire, I don't give a fuck. He's going to start macroing us Banelings. There's Widowmines that are burrowing a little bit late. But there's a Liberator on the ground. It's not shooting at anything, but it's okay because there's more units rallying in right now onto the creep. This is still so much in favor of Eternal. There are Banelings being morphed in, but that's it! There's just Banelings!
Steven's been holding on by the absolute skin of his teeth, and it looks like we're seeing the very last layer of skin get peeled off here by Eternal. As all those Banelings go down, this third base dead.
No skin for you!
No skin for you. Even picks up a Hydra on his way out.
Oh! 1 HP! Oh, this Hydra just fucking
Turtle,
killed.
don't you dare throw. Don't you dare throw.
I'm gonna slap you in the fucking mouth if you throw this game.
Yeah,
Excuse
okay,
my
he needs to go back home, he needs to regroup, and he needs to hit again with 3-3. His economic lead at this point is pretty tremendous. Right now, Steven's only mining off of 2 bases. And I think, like I said, Eternal, just stay home, get you 3-3, rebuild your Liberators, your tanks, your mines, and then go. But he's actually going for
Eternal. No, Eternal, you did really well. What you need to do right now is hold, load up 2 Medivacs, and just pressure on the map.
Oh, you stim to clear creep, and there's actually no scans.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. And actually, he only has 2 Medivacs. He only has 2 Medivacs, so, like, stimming needlessly actually is kind of a big deal here.
There is no AoE here. This is going to come down literally to purely splits.
Yeah, here we go. The
Bailey's
coming in.
Oh!
Great splits. Great splits. I think there's enough Hydras, but he's going to get this base on his way out. Yeah, he's going to kill it. And Eternal trades that army for that base, which I think is a totally worthwhile trade. Steven's still trying to reestablish his third. He's got his 4th back up, but I mean his 4th is now his 3rd. So
based on the current standing of workers, I don't know if it was a worthy trade. To be honest, he's not oversaturated any of his bases, and he still has a base that hasn't completed yet. I don't think that was good. I feel like he should have had some AoE with that engagement.
Yeah, I still think, yeah, you're right. He would have been... Oh, actually, there's a link drop in the main. Now, there's not really any workers here for him to kill, it doesn't look like. And actually, it's going to get shot.
Overlord. That's like killing a supply depot. Not that it matters.
It's like killing a supply.
That's how I feel.
Actually, now Liberators in the 4th, picking off 5 workers, forcing even more mining time to a Steven who's already kind of economically starved.
He's gonna pick up the Liberator though. So I mean, Liberator gets a couple kills. You know, work is a little bit done. He scans another base to say, "Hey, do you have another base? Because I'm really concerned." And there is no base there.
And now he's coming in. Now he's got Liberators. Now he's got mines. All these things that can really help you anchor a push. I mean, Bio's really good, but it's not really good at holding a position. Right now, fortunately, Terran have a lot of other units that are good at holding a position, and I'm glad Eternal brought some of those for this next push.
Have I ever told you how much of a freaking G you are, Revolt?
You have many times, but
Okay,
I
good.
never tire of hearing it.
Yeah,
So.
you're a fucking G. Approved.
Approved. Okay, it's official
Alright,
now, boys. Here comes
Liberator
Liberator. Yeah,
lands. We
and
have
how do you
AoE this
engage
time.
this? Yeah, how do you engage this? It's really hard because it's not even really on creep.
No,
Steven's gonna run in and try and bait out the Widow Mines, but yeah.
that was good. That was good. He fucking moved his Marines as he needed to. His Widow Mines didn't get full
Yeah,
shots.
now there's not enough Bailing.
Move! Bane! Whoa! Whoa! Holy
And
crap!
by
Eternal!
the cries of Coda, Eternal is propelled to victory. He says, hey, hey, hey,
This
you
game is
listen
over.
here, you Australian. I'm not going down without a fight. We're going to be going to game number 4 here,
Goodbye.
absolutely, as Eternal shows some dominating play here on.
Say, Eternal, I'm the Alpha, and I am the Omega! I'm gonna kill your bases! And there's nothing you can do about it. Fucking Steven down to the 80 supply right now to 166, 174 of Eternal! This is it! We're gonna push the state, and GG is gonna be called here shortly. I'm calling it right now. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's happening.
I promise.
Ginger!
There we go. It happened eventually.
Follow your screen? How do I
Sure.
How do I hashtag follow your screen?
It should be like either hit 3, I think, because 1 and 2 are the 2 players. And then is it following my screen as I pan around?
Where are you panning around at? Like his Eternal's base?
All right, hit
Silly.
yeah.
He's being really silly.
Well,
He's
is your
like,
screen
kind of like
is your
going
screen
around.
moving without you moving your screen?
Yes, but I have to
Okay,
make
then
sure
you're
it's not
good, then you're-
Eternal's movement. Move all the way to the right. Go. Go to the right. All right, cool. All right, I'll be right back real quick. I gotta pee. I'm gonna do the
Right.
introduction real quick for Eternal though, at least. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. He is down 1-2. It is Eternal.
And spawning up in the top right-hand corner, he's
I'll be
up
back.
2-1. Here on Everdream, it is Steven. And it looks like Coda stepped away for a moment, so that means you're stuck with me following my cam. I have absolute control of this cast, and I don't know which direction I want to take it, to be honest. We might start getting weird. We might check out things like this base. Might seem like there's not a lot going on, but, I have a feeling that this base later in this game will turn out to be critical. Okay, that's my prediction. This base and this one. They're going to be really important. No, but in all seriousness, it is a pretty normal build here from Steven, at least so far. Eternal is doing the same build he always does, right? He's going to SCV expand through his Reaper expand. So he's going to see this coming. He's going to see if they hatch first, which whenever you play Steven and you get a non-weird build, you'll take it. You'll take it. Veritas playing on Eternal's. The best part about Eternal is you never have to worry about Eternal having someone else play on his account, because A, it would be really obvious because they might be good at the game, and B, he's just got too much pride, man. He's got too much pride. Oh, actually, Steven, he baits this out of the way. Can he get it down? Oh, he does get it down. That's a big deal. Eternal was teed up to kind of delay that. Doesn't get to be able to, and there we see it, the 223rd. Now, again, that does delay the queen in the natural a little bit. But actually, this Reaper, kind of going to town. It's gotten 2 lings, and it forced out a Spore Cancel. That's a good Reaper. And it's going to get out. That's an A+ Reaper right there. That's an A+ Reaper. Meanwhile, we have the Reactor Hellion coming in here for Eternal.
Good job, Reap.
Woohoo!
Alright, I'm
Yeah,
back.
you didn't miss much. It was just normal TVC things. Steven did what I think is a little bit more normal. Got the 220, 230 third base. And Eternal got a few lings before trading his.
Sick.
But beyond that, we are smack dab in the absolute center of Normalsville here in game number 4.
Awesome.
What were you doing there, Coda?
Had to go to the bathroom, bro.
Understandable.
do
Then
you
they didn't
drink?
even ask
Kinda
if you were
happens.
ready. Ah, the bastards, dude. The bastards.
Right? What the crap?
It's Eternal, dude. He's always chomping at the bit. He's go, 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 go. He wants a piece of Steven, okay? He can't help himself. He's like a mad dog. And if you ask me, I think he might need to be put down. Well, he's still got some dignity.
All right, let's put him down.
I didn't expect you to agree to that so easily, but yeah, okay. All right, scan goes down on the main, but unfortunately the main is not where it needs to scan. There's double gas and a roach warren in the natural. And at 4 minutes, double gas and a roach warren, I feel... Yeah, it indicates that there might be a decent amount of roaches coming out. So that's pretty
Agreed.
quick to be getting those units. And with 6 overlords on the way, I mean, you only get that many overlords, I feel like, when you're like, I'm preparing to make 1,000,000 roaches. And there we go. Roach production does.
Yeah, I agree. That's no reason. There's no lair. You are literally going all in right here. This is it. You want to end the game right now.
He does, but actually, Eternal's always going to try and run into the main. Oh, no, he's going to back out. He's going to back out. Is he? Is he though? Is he though?
Did he see the roach though? Just one roach.
He didn't. He didn't see the roach. He didn't see the roach. And he saw a relatively normal amount of lings. I mean, you know.
Oh, he scans. He sees the roach warren.
He sees the roach warren. Yeah, but he doesn't know when that roach warren came up. To be right. Now
No,
that might start ringing some bells here for him, or raising some red flags. But I don't think he's positive of the full extent of it. Now the good news is there's a Banshee out, right? There's a Banshee out. There's going to be a second one shortly after this attack hits. He's trying to get the Hellions back in position. He needs them firing on the lings that are going to be the follow-up to this attack. Oh no!
One Banshee on the field.
Yeah, that Banshee almost got biled down, actually, but it didn't. That's very important. And now I think Eternals, this should go pretty well for him. I mean, the bunker's still up. The Banshee's in the sky, shredding down the roaches. And once the second Banshee pops, I think he should be able to clear this out. Oh, no, he let him into the main!
He let him in the main. There's only so much DPS that you can do with one Banshee. Waiting for 2 to pop. I mean, he let the Hellions fall. The bunker went down. The Marines fell.
Oh, and even a high-value depot going down as well. I feel like letting him into the main could be a critical error here for Eternal, who's now got a tank sieged up. He's going to lose that to Biles, but that should also mean that, the tank falls. But this aggression is going to peter out for all the army and 18 SCVs. Oh, actually, no, there's more links coming.
Stevens is still up an incredible amount of supply, yeah. So, I mean, this is going to come down to SCVs and a Banshee. 2 Banshees against all these units. And what can you do to try to come back from this? I mean, it's possible. I'm not going to say it's not because I've done it before, but...
Yeah, I mean, the good news, the 3rd CC is done, right? So if you're rebounding from aggression, having your 3 CC is really nice. But this aggression still isn't over. There's still lings streaming in. Eternal's economy, while this goes on, is still absolutely shunted. 31 SCVs in total going down. Oh, I feel like that didn't need to be that brutal for Eternal. If he has those depots up in the main, buys more time for the Banshee, then he can get the tank. Oh.
Minor errors, but that's what costs you games sometimes.
Yeah, it really is. He's going to be able to get out on the map with these Banshees, and like you said, now it's really good that he has Cloak because he can kind of start to get counter. Another important thing to note here, right? 1-1 is on the way for Eternal. We don't even have any Evos down for Steven, and typically the bigger an upgrade lead you can get us in TVZ, the better, obviously.
Yes. I mean, there's Banshees. I mean, the Banshees, but they're cloaked, and it doesn't really matter because there's that fucking sport crawler in a good position.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna get the creep. That's nice, but Steven's got the queen count. He will be able to replace this. All it is gonna kind of do is delay how quickly he can get the creep out to that base down on the bottom. Actually, he's clearing out a lot.
Bailey's pushing into the natural Eternal.
Oh,
he doesn't have enough. There's a lot of Zogas here. There's only 1 Hellion and a lot of Marines, but it doesn't matter because there's so many Banelings. Oh my goodness!
The Banshees aren't
We're
here.
going into the main base. The Banshees are across the map. Hellions engaged. Banelings go down.
There's links in the natural. There's links in the main. Absolutely everything going down here for Eternal. His economy, which was already weak, is going to take another 20-plus SCV blow here. GG is called, and Steven advances 3.
Steven, GG's.